So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Pomegranate podcast. On location in my really old. Actually, can you guys hear me? I think it's probably best. First things. That might be better. You guys might be able to hear me a small bit better now. I am in my really old as I can remember, childhood bedroom, where after I was evicted from this for another bedroom, should I say, there was a Snoopy mural painted on the wall, which I thought was interesting. That's just a little bit of a side topic there. But first of all, can I make sure that people can actually hear me? You guys can hear me. Yeah, I think you guys should be able to hear me. Yeah, so bit of a scale down setup here. So hopefully all the audio is all good. Let me know if there's anything out there, because I know I did have some issues in my studio yesterday. But I just wanted to come on and do a small bit of a team sheet tantrum. I'm unsure as to whether I'll be able to do a post match, and I'm unsure as to whether I'll be able to get Villa AM out at the normal time. But we will endeavour, put it this way, we will endeavour over for the rest of the afternoon. Because, as I say, I have to go do something with my little girl later on, and she's really looking forward to it. So that's why we're down here at my parents' house. But yes, I wanted to talk about this Aston Villa team sheet, because obviously, look, it's not normal really to have a game today and then a game tomorrow. You know, a game 2 days in a row, which is, I suppose, a novelty in a lot of ways. I know this off season, a lot of teams have done actually games in the same day. So like one at 12 o'clock during the day, and then one at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And you know, obviously playing two different teams. But I thought the lineups here were obviously going to be interesting today and tomorrow. So let's take a little look at them, because these are, I'm not going to say these are the dress rehearsals before Newcastle, but they're obviously minutes in the legs games. I think the Roma game was really the dress rehearsal. And anyway, yes, we'll see what these two games bring as well. So, am I copying Paddy's hairstyle? I think it's just the angle that my Mac is at, as opposed to where it normally is. Tell the truth, I'm in jail. It feels like I'm in jail at times, being back at home again in my old home. But anyway, let's go and take a little look at the team sheet here. So the lineup is Bizot and goals, Cash Mings, Bogart, and Digne, with midfield made up of McGinn, Illing Jr., Onana, Ramsey, and Hemmings. Obviously, in those midfield 5 positions, with Malin up top. So the interesting point for me though is the subs. Obviously, we see quite a lot of subs here, and it makes sense playing 2 games in 2 days that you would carry an extended substitute panel there as well. You've got Martinez, you've got Proctor, Konza, Tielemans, Bundiga, Watkins, Pau Torres, Moreno is in there, Matson is in there. Our new signing, Evan Gassand is in there as well. We'll see, does he get minutes? Bailey, Lewis Dobbin is in there. Kamara, Rowe, Patterson, Ejimoloba, Mosquera is in there, and Burrows. So that kind of gives us a. And look, there's no one there that kind of is a surprise, really. I suppose maybe Moreno is a bit of a surprise. But look, if he's here, he might get minutes, you know, and this is obviously shop window territory for him too. Same with Lewis Dobbin, I would imagine, because it's strange, because I thought that there was a loan deal already agreed for Lewis Dobbin to go back out on loan, but obviously that is not the case. So yeah, so look, there's quite a number of players here that we want to see come on. I think for the starting 11 that we have here, I'm obviously really interested to see how Illing Jr. does again. You know, he hasn't really and I'm going to try the same trick that I tried with Buendia last time, but Illing Jr. hasn't really got a lot of minutes in this preseason, and you know, he's another person who's in shop window territory. I think more so shop window territory for a loan to maybe a good championship team. So it'll be interesting to see him start here against very, very good opposition and see what he can do. Obviously, George Hemmings, as everybody knows here, is always going to. There's always going to be positive things are going to come out of my mouth about him until I see otherwise, because I just think he's a really good midfielder. Seeing him from the start here once again against formidable opposition here is going to be great. And one thing that I would have liked to seen here is I would have liked to see Matson and Bogart continue their bromance down that left hand side. But obviously, the newly extended Luca Dean is here as well, and his, I suppose his experience is gonna count for an awful lot in there on that left hand side as that left back too. I would imagine that we will see rolling substitutions. Maybe we would see a new team come on the 45 minute on 45 minutes, but it's hard to know how this would work with like one game the day after the other. Do you want to give people 45 minutes today and 45 minutes tomorrow, or do you want to try and give a team the bones in 90 minutes today and then a team the bones in 90 minutes tomorrow? So it'll just be interesting to see how this goes and how he manages this here. Looking to see how Bogart continues his upward trajectory in their right centre back as well. So that's going to be really interesting. And as always, the ever how will I say, just the ever industrious, the ever workman like Daniel Malin. All he's doing is getting starts, putting in performances, really solid performances, doing the basics right, doing and getting the chances, putting himself in the position to get the chances to either have shots or score goals. And like as I say, he scored 2 really good goals in the last 2 appearances he's had in preseason. And why not make it a third tonight? Obviously, he is the understudy in the number 9 position to Ollie Watkins. He's in there as a number 9 today from the start. So let's see what he can do. And I hope he bags a goal or 2 today in this game, because I think well, I know, look, everybody thinks that he has a huge he has a huge say in how Villa's season is going to go this year as well. So I think that's really really important to see. I would love to see minutes today for maybe some of the young guys off the bench. Like, I'm okay if you have a Lewis Dobbin coming off and or coming off the bench and playing maybe 45 minutes today. I'm okay with Moreno coming off the bench and playing 45 minutes today. Remember, we do have a game tomorrow, so substitutions aren't going to surprise me. Whatever happens today, it's not going to surprise me from a substitution point of view. I'm more so looking for individual performances. Well, team performances in the first half, with obviously the individuals that I mentioned there being the highlight performers. That's what I want to see. And then I'm looking for more so individual performances in the second half. Like, I would love to see Tristan Rowe come on in the second half, which it looks like he probably will do. I would love to see him come on and continue again his promising preseason too, along with Jim Oloba. And look, it's always good to get a glimpse at Mosquera and Burrows, but some of those guys are obviously going to be kept back for games tomorrow and so on. So it's going to be just interesting to see the allocation of minutes for players in this game as well today. Will people who start maybe get 60 minutes as opposed to only 45? And it might, after these 2 games, then I suppose we should be able to make a concrete guess at who our starting 11 is going to be for Newcastle. So it's definitely interesting. Now, let me see if I can find. So bear with me here while I do. Oops, I can't. Why does that happen? Let me see if I can find maybe a Marseille team. Did Marseille bother to put out a team on the interwebs today? Let's say this is a stripped back version, so I don't have any automation or anything like that. I'm not seeing a Marseille team there. Let me see if I can find it on. Let's see if one of the aggregation sites has it here. There we go. Club friendlies, Marseille and Aston Villa. Does anybody have the team, the Marseille team? Do you want to put it up on, or give me a link for it? They don't seem to have it on FootMob anyway. Let's see if it's on SofaScore. This is great podcasting, isn't it? As I let you guys wait while I try and find the the Marseille team so that we can talk about it for a pre-season friendly where we're probably going to see sweeping changes after 45 minutes. This is why you guys come and watch For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. Can't seem to find the team. Does anybody know? Has anybody found the team there? Can anybody pop it into the chat there and we can see it? I'm working off one screen here, so I am finding it difficult to do everything I need to do. Not there either. Do you know what? We'll find out about the Marseille team when. Oh, there I have it. I have the Marseille team. Search and you shall find. Here we go. So the Marseille team is as follows: John Maruli is in goals. You've got Murillo, Berardi, Medina, and Garcia. You've got Emil Højbjerg. You've got Angel Gomez in there. Is that Angel Gomez? Is it Angel Gomez? I think it is. You've got Rabiot. I didn't even know Rabiot moved to Marseille. You've got Mason Greenwood. You've got Jonathan Rowe, and you've got Guri up top as well. A very interesting team. They've gone with a very, very strong team there. They have, and they're going to have people. They're going to have people on that bench that can come off. You see, one thing about Marseille is Marseille have kind of bought a load of players that they kind of keep in reserve. Like Neil Maupay is at Marseille currently at the moment. They had an injection of money, it seems, and like not so long ago, when we bought Morgan Sanson, remember everyone that Marseille's fans broke into their training ground and tried to burn it down. 4 short years ago, 5 short years ago, 4 or 5 short years ago. Like that's Marseille were struggling for cash, and now obviously they're not, and they've got quite a competitive team out there as well. So it's definitely something that we need to bear in mind, that they'll be able to put out 2 really, really strong teams. And I think that's good for Ligue 1. I think it's good for French League because you want to be able to have more strength and depth in that league from the point of view of it gets boring with PSG winning it the whole time and PSG being so strong. Having a good Marseille, having a good Monaco, having teams that can run PSG as close as you possibly can is good for that league, and it's good for bringing on players as well. Like interesting there, like Jonathan Rowe moves to Marseille from Norwich. Like that's a fantastic move for him. He's kind of like, you kind of forget about some of those English players that move out to France specifically, more so than other leagues, but he's putting together a nice career for himself. Obviously, he was part of the English under-21 team. He's going to be starting for Marseille, I would imagine, quite a lot this season, along with Angel Gomez as well. Looked like he was going to go to Spurs. He was with Lille last year. Wasn't it Lille? I think it was. Yeah, I'm certainly certain it was Lille. They moved from Lille to Marseille, I think, on a free transfer as well. And you've got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So it'd be very, very very interested in a lot of the players that are here. I like their like one of their centre halves anyway, or maybe he might be playing at left back, and that's Medina, Facundo Medina. He was playing at Lens before. He's a smaller, maybe 5'11" type. He can play a left back, can play a left centre half as well, can play in a back three, and potentially he might be playing in a back three here tonight. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Marseille in pre-season. I haven't looked at any of their stuff, and I haven't looked at a whole pile of their stuff pretty much in 2025, to be honest with you. So he's someone though that I do find really interesting. I would have actually really liked him at Villa. He's had a very promising. He's always been a promising player that was playing at Lens probably for maybe 2 seasons too long, but always puts in 100% and is one of those teak tough Argentinian defenders. So he's going to be very, very tough to play against today, along with Berardi. And that guy, actually, he's probably playing at left-sided centre-back there, because Murillo that we see there, number 62, if I'm not mistaken, we were linked with him. Is he the Panamanian right-back that we were linked with? He can play right-back or right centre-back as well. So just interesting to see how that back four lines up, or that back three lines up, whichever one it is. It'll be really interesting because they've got real professional people in there. Like Murillo, if I'm not mistaken, is about 30 years of age. And I did a scouting series on him before. Berardi was linked with Newcastle United. And as I say, Medina is somebody who's coming in, if I'm not mistaken, he's somebody who's coming from Argentina as well. So like they've got teak tough professionals within the whole lot of their squad there. And this is going to be a very, very good test for Villa in the Stade Velodrome. And I don't know why, but I love seeing I love the name. I love it. For me, it's probably way more iconic than it should be, and I don't know why. I have no reason to think why. But the Stade Velodrome, like, even when I'm watching the Olympics and I hear the word velodrome, the first thing that I think of is Marseille straight away. So that's just my weird mind mapping that happens whenever I hear words, or my word association that happens. Like the word velodrome, I always associate with Marseille, whereas obviously it is a cycling arena. So yeah, so look, that's really it for Aston Villa's setup today. I can't really see the comments there as well, guys. So I know that I could see them at the start, but they're kind of pushed off to the side because I'm working off a tiny screen here. So I do apologize. I'll try and pull up a few of them there if I can see. Yeah, where are we? Yeah, Dennis White's talking about big Tony Cascarino playing for both clubs. I made a joke that Evan Gassand was the Tony Cascarino, the Ivorian Tony Cascarino, considering he was born in France and playing in the Ivory Coast. But obviously, I'm sure that Evan Gassand has a full set of teeth, unlike Tony Cascarino, and that's very much so an Irish joke with regards to that. But yeah, Cascarino, the man who came to Villa when they were told they were getting Teddy Sheringham, and they ended up with Tony Cascarino. Where else are we here with some comments? So Adam AVFC asks what channel is the game on. It's on Villa TV, like all the rest of the preseason games. I don't think it's been carried on French terrestrial television or anything like that. So your safest bet is Villa TV. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's covered in the Villa TV Lite packages. I think it's only covered if you have a Claret membership or something along those lines. I know there's some restrictions in some of the games, so it may cost $5.99, I think, on Villa TV. But yeah, it's we'll see if the stream holds up this time. Yeah, they're under a bit of pressure as well. Right. Yeah, so there it is. British Mick says it's $5.99 unless you have a membership. That's either a Claret membership or what the new name for the Claret membership is. I can't remember. And that gives you access to Villa TV as well. So the game is going to be kicking off in the next 29 minutes. But I think, yeah, C99 says, I hope Mings puts in a cruncher on Greenwood. Exactly. Yeah, look, as I say, there is a rehabilitation process going on there for Mason Greenwood. And yeah, that's all I'd say. I wouldn't be a fan of some of any of the photographs that came out there with regards to Mason Greenwood, but we'll try and keep this footballing opinions for the time being anyway. If he scores a hat-trick tonight, I might go off on him in the post-match podcast. But yeah, we'll see what this game brings. Right, so everybody, thanks so much for your time. And as I said, this is kind of a throwing together team sheet tantrum. Going to try and get on for a post-match. Should be able to get on for a post-match, and maybe the Villa A might be a bit later tomorrow morning, but we will see. But yeah, thanks a million for your time. Hope you enjoy the Villa game later on. It's on, as I say, it's 6 p.m. today, and I think there's a later start then for the game against Villarreal. Tomorrow, I think, might even be an 8 p.m. start, but we will join you for a team sheet tantrum and a post-match for Villarreal as well. So hopefully you join us for that. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.